to the Born for Greatness podcast. I have special guest Khari Harper on today, who is joining me, and we've known each other for a little while, but I am very excited to have him on the podcast today.
Well, thank you for having me, Rebecca.
Yes. So we were just talking before we got started, kind of about what you're up to. If you happen to follow him on Facebook, or are you doing it on Instagram too? He's talking about his new company. I'm going to let him talk about it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's Facebook and LinkedIn is really where I'm tracking like that $1 million journey in 12 months. Instagram, I guess I'm not cool enough for the Instagram cats.
Well, that's all right. So what exactly are you doing? What's this new company, and why did you choose to go this route?
Okay. So I created a cleaning company. When I was in corporate, I was thinking of businesses to create that I can have the upper hand in. And, most of us, when we think of start becoming an entrepreneur, we think of real estate or all those sexy things, agency owners, real estate, whatever it may be. And all I could think about was, what business can I dominate that doesn't run ads, that really doesn't understand customer service or anything of that nature? So I was like, you know what? The service-based business, that's what I'm going to go into. But I don't know how to I'm not the most handy guy in the world. So, I usually pay for everybody to do everything for me. But every time I do, the service is terrible. Nobody's ever on time. And I just started all right, I was like, let me think of cleaning because I needed to get my place cleaned. And so I started looking into cleaning. I'm reading the reviews and Yelp, and then I'm going on their websites thinking from an agency owner standpoint, who knows ads, marketing, websites, etc.
Right.
And it just hit me. I was like, I could blow this out of the water and just subcontract all of the work, and I could probably make $1 million in 12 months doing it, because while these cleaning companies are walking to get customers, I'm flying there. So that's how it started. It really, yeah.
That's interesting. I have a lot of questions about that, but first we'll go back so that people kind of know your history. We met because you ran a lead gen company for real estate agents, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how come you decided to move out of that and into this new venture?
A couple of reasons. A majority of real estate agents that and this may be a little controversial, that I know and that I've spoken to, they don't have a budget for marketing, and they're not really running their business as a business. And it's hard. I don't really want to get into that because that's a whole new topic. But if you know, if you don't, that probably means you're not running it like a business. So it was an uphill battle every single time, trying to say, hey, you need this for your business in order to scale. Word of mouth is not going to help you scale effectively, in your real estate business. So that's why I had to get out. They're cheap.
Okay. So, all right. So now we know why you chose cleaning. Did you have what was it that made you think I want $1 million in 12 months, that time frame, that amount? What kind of gave you that idea?
Well, so last year I made $500,000, and I was like, this was cool, but it took me 18 months to do it. And I did it without a real concept of how to actually structure a business the correct way. All right. Meaning I wasn't tracking metrics. I didn't have a real sales team. I was selling advertising. I wasn't even running paid ads myself. Luckily, I had a decent sized following on Facebook. So a lot of word of mouth helped. But eventually I got tired of it. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. Once I left the agency and I came back and said, I'm going to start a new business, I was like, you know what, I want to do $1 million. It's a crazy goal, but the goal isn't $1 million. That's more of the buzzword. Everyone hears $1 million, they're like, oh my God.
Right.
The biggest thing was documenting the entire journey. So there's a blueprint every step of the way. So when I do go on to do my next thing, which is motivational speaking, you can't say Khari's a liar, because as long as you go back, there's timestamps of everything that I've done all the way up until $1 million and beyond.
That's really interesting. Now, how come you want to share it with people for free? Was there ever a thought process on, I'm going to hold this to myself and then sell kind of my idea?
I will sell eventually. I'll sell my systems and my, my marketing tactics and scripts and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I come from a background of, I grew up in foster care, orphanages, stuff like that. And I think like when I was like 18, 19, really on my own, no help, no car, no parents, no job, all I could think
Mm-hmm.
about is what if this one person just gave me the game, like all of it? Or as much as possible to at least get me started on producing income on my own, how much further would I be right now? So that's what I want to do. I want to do it for the single moms, the dads on child support, that's working a job, getting 80% of their paychecks taken, I'm doing it for everyone who feels they have no out. Granted, I'm not going to build your business for you, but I
Mm-hmm.
promise you that every step of the way and everything that I document is more than enough for you to start making $5,000-$10,000 a month on your own without paying for a coach or anything. And you can implement everything I'm saying on my statuses and on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can implement that to any type of business at all because it's just a system. Businesses follow a formula. You master that formula, you have mastered business.
That's great. I was just going to ask you, does it only apply to a cleaning company? But you answered that question for me. So that's awesome. I love it. I did not know about your past. Was there something or someone that inspired you growing up to make you feel like, I have the opportunity to be successful?
I've had some inspirations. A lot of my inspirations in my life, they never stuck around. My father was a big inspiration. He was like my best friend, but I haven't spoken to him in 12 years. No one even knows where he is. He was a huge inspiration. Like he always put hard work, save your money, invest it. He was like,
Mm,
don't work for anyone because you have all these opportunities. And this is back in like 2008. He was saying, you have all these opportunities. So
wow.
it was my mother. My mother, she's, we don't have a great relationship.
Mm,
So at one point, it was about proving her wrong. Like
mm,
these were like the motivators in my life. Those kids used to make fun of me. I remember when I used to throw parties in New Jersey. Like, that was my thing. So, and people always be like, like there was like girls I would try to talk to. They're like, yeah, no, you kind of don't have it together. All you do is throw parties. I just sat there like, you know what? I'm going to prove every single individual wrong. And I'm going to make sure, and this is also why I'm doing the journey as well, but I'm going to make sure you have to watch every step of success. It's not going to be one of those things where you see once I've already, made it to my goals. I want you to watch the growth every single month. And you have to sit there and be like, that's what I could have had. That's the friend I could have had. That's the person that maybe I shouldn't have talked badly about and just maybe understood
mm.
that he came from a different environment and he was trying to survive at one point in his life. But now I am no longer in survival mode. I am in thrive mode and it feels amazing.
That's awesome. I love that. I always say, and I especially teach my boys this, like you have to be so careful not to judge because just what you see on the outside, you have no idea what's happening. And I think we all need to be kinder to everyone around us. It's kind of my thing because I know I've been judged and just no matter what situation you're a single mom, people think certain things, even if it's something that really isn't an issue, people can find an issue. So absolutely. I think it's really important that we treat people with kindness. And I do think it's a huge motivator when somebody has told you it is for me. You say I can't do something. I'm like, oh, watch me. So that's very cool. That's awesome that you took what could have led to a lifetime of feeling a certain way and not wanting to pursue something, but instead you took that and now you're in this awesome position and you are loving life. So that's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you
That's
very much.
awesome.
I'm actually writing a book right now because as I'm documenting the
Ooh.
journey and the introduction of the book, you're getting first dibs on this. I promise.
Ooh, I
2024
like
will
it.
be the biggest book out there. You heard it here first.
All
Um,
right.
the intro is you'll never amount to anything. All you'll ever be is mediocre. And then after the quotations end, it says, that's what a mother said to her 16-year-old son. And then I go
Mm,
into my story. And
wow.
It's words like that every day. My stepdad, me and my stepdad are best friends. I don't think he realized what he said at the time. Like me and him, beautiful relationship. And he was like, we were with all of his friends and we were laughing in the kitchen and everything. And then one of the friends said, Khari, what do you want to do when you get older? I was 16 at the time, 16 or 17. I was like, I want to be a motivational speaker when I finish my career. And my stepdad was like, you have to have a career first. And I sat there and laughed. But from that 10, 11 years later, that saying still sits in the back of my head. And it's like now, even as my social media grows, my Facebook, my LinkedIn continues to grow, I see like, hey, I'm becoming everything that they said I couldn't be.
I love it. That's awesome. So you've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. Is that just something that you've just always felt? Or, I mean, because you're saying that you had that vision at 16 or 17. So what was it that made you want to do that?
I think it was more so, I really want to help people. I'm very money motivated, but money never clouds my moral value. So when business, I think it's fair game. Whatever it is, like if this is an equal playing field, may the best man or woman win. But I also think in the back of my mind, what about the people who just need that word? Maybe they don't need to attach to me. What if I could just make one great video that goes viral and they hear 10 seconds that changes their entire outlook on everything? Because I can't, and I've come to accept this. It took me a while to accept this. I need to be the biggest individual in the world. I need to be number one, because the impact I want to make is not a selfish impact. And it's like the whole Kanye West theory, how he gets crazy and everything, because he's so frustrated at everything that he's trying to do, because he knows he's going to make a greater impact for everyone, break open doors and barriers for everyone. But everyone continues to crucify him because he's in his own lane. And that's where I feel like I'm getting to in my life now. I'm in my own lane, but people say you're outspoken, or, oh, you type grammatically incorrect, a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter.
Right.
But yes,
that's cool though. I mean, that's great. I obviously love motivational stuff as a business coach. I think it's important to motivate and inspire people. And I think sometimes people feel like they have to do this grand thing to make an impact in someone's life. And what you just said is so important, because it could be one sentence, it could be 2 words, it could be a hello. When somebody feels like an outcast and no one speaks to them, I don't think that we give enough credit to what just small gestures and just little things can do to turn somebody's life around. So I think that's so awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Right. Yeah. So it's the small things, small good deeds compounded make the greatest impact.
Oh, I like that. That is good. I might steal that. Do I have to give credit to you at the end? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that is so cool. So, okay. What do I do if I want to learn more right now? Can I go back and look at your journey? When did you start? Let's start there. When did you start this new company?
I started the company. So I actually thought I was going to go into makeup and skincare. So that was February 12th. February 6th, really? That was the plan was going to become the next Kylie Cosmetics, but there was too much that went into it.
Interesting. Okay.
So February 13th, I made the decision. I was like, nope, I'm going to do cleaning. But the $1 million journey began April 1st. From February 13th in all of March was really foundation building, but I was documenting that as well. So on LinkedIn, I have featured posts where it's going to show you basically step by step. And if you go down my entire LinkedIn and just keep scrolling back to like February-ish, every post that I've made is only documenting the journey.
That is very cool. So are you doing the hiring of your cleaners, or are you involved in the cleaning? How's that working right now in these beginning stages?
Sadly, I do some cleanings.
Hey,
It's the worst.
I like to clean. So for me, it's like, yes.
And so come on down to Texas and we'll see if you have that same mindset.
That's probably true. Yeah. Somebody
But
else's house, but
exactly. But I subcontract. So basically, in reality, I
okay.
am the middleman of everything.
Okay.
So I get the jobs and I just because one thing, remember what I said in the beginning? Like while people are walking to get customers, I'm flying.
Mm,
So these other companies, they understand is cleaning, which is not a problem. All
right.
I understand is sales, customers, customer service, how to turn this into a machine. So you connect
Mm-hmm.
my expertise with their clean skills to clean really quickly. We have a great relationship there. I'm keeping them fed. I think I'm going to start doing this exclusive right now. I'm going to start doing this for for the journey. I'm going to begin, instead of talking about how much money I made, I'm going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about how much in commissions I've paid out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So
That's so different. So I like it. Very cool.
yeah, so but I don't, by May, I refuse to be doing the cleaning again. It's my son's mother and I, I wanted to get her out of corporate. I saw that us working in corporate really impacted our parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to sit down with her one day. I was like, hey, we need to do this for our son because I don't want to say neglecting, that's a strong word. We're not giving him the time that he's used to. When I had my agency, you were just doing the stay-at-home mom thing, not just, that's a huge job. But when you're a stay-at-home mom, he is used to a certain type of attention. And also
Right.
that's what we want to give him.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. Well,
so
that's
yeah,
very cool that you gave her that opportunity, and now you guys are working side by side. That's awesome.
yeah, it's been an experience, and it really, the seeing the woman she's becoming, because the confidence being instilled in her, she's having that opportunity to really shine in her own light and be the leader and the boss that she is. And she does it
That's
well,
awesome.
very well. Our team loves her, the customers love her. Me, I'm just the guy that's like, hey, let me continue pushing the needle forward. You hold
Mm-hmm.
down the playing ground, and I promise I'm going to get us to wherever we need to go. You just keep doing you.
That's awesome. I'm going to go back to what you said about customer service real quick because I noticed you posted something, I don't know, the other day about it was like I think must have been a text message to a customer just following up to see how their cleaning service was. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, that's so impactful because how often does that happen for any type of service? I've never experienced that. I've never had somebody come and do something and follow up and say, just making sure you're doing good. So, what made you do that? Is this like, has someone done that to you before and you thought, oh, this is awesome, and you took that idea, or how does that work?
I think it's more so I treat every business. How do I want to be treated? And I have a very high standard of how I live my life. And if
Mm-hmm.
I give you money, there's a certain expectation of service that I want in return, because it's not because it's a transactional thing. It's because it's a I've the money. If I give you my money, I've given you my trust.
Mm,
And if you do not value my trust, then I also feel like you didn't value me as a customer, a client, whatever, or even a friend. I've given friends money and some of them never even said thank you. So
wow.
I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? If it only takes me 10 seconds to send that text and it makes the biggest impact, I can get a Google review out of it. They will give me the honest feedback. It makes me feel good and it makes them feel good. So it's a win-win situation. So let's just both win.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you again for joining me. If people want to follow you, how do they find you?
LinkedIn, Khari Harper. So Khari and then Harper, Harper. That is the best place where you'll get the best content. And also, if you're looking to start a business, I network with a lot of individuals on LinkedIn on my post. Like there's a lot of great people that anyone can speak to that work in these 9-figure tech corporations. They'll also be
Mm-hmm.
more than happy to give insights on the corporate structure so you can implement that into your maybe your small business.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me, everyone. Thank you. I will be back in 2 weeks with another awesome guest.